What is up, my beautiful people from YouTube? Guys, this is the start of something new, and I need your help. I'll be honest, these videos may not get the amount of views that my day-to-day videos actually get. The information that I'm covering here, it's going to be a lot more basic, and that is on purpose. If you know these things, awesome. I'm really happy for you. Please help me spread the word. Help me let other people know how the crypto space works. I want mass adoption for this thing. I don't care what lawmakers are doing right now. My goal is to do my part to provide information, to provide knowledge to everyone else so they can better learn what this is all about. Why am I so excited about it? Why am I spending, over the last 2 months making videos almost on a daily basis covering cryptocurrencies? Is it really important? Is it really that worthwhile learning? Yes. And I know the channel might take a little bit of a toll because of it, because at the end of the day, this might not get as many views, as many likes, but with your help, and that's the only thing I'm going to ask, if you can help me maintain these videos and put them in the forefront of people, put them in the forefront of people's eyes, share it with people share it with people that might not understand what blockchain, and cryptocurrencies are. I'm going to cover the basics. I'm going to go over the basic things that I wish somebody had told me when I first started. Well, there wasn't anybody really around when I first started this. It was like 10 years ago, but it's information that sometimes I had to hunt down and figure it out myself. And I want to provide it in little nuggets. Let's call it little nuggets of love here from the blockchain, because it's what it is. And this is how you can help. If you hit that like button, please, please, please help the channel move forward. If you got something nice to say, something mean to say, it doesn't matter. Like, drop it down below. The comment section goes a long way when it comes to YouTube. They want to check that engagement. They want to know if you're watching the video from start to finish. There's so many little nuances that YouTube's looking at to see if this channel, is it worthwhile sending it out to other people? We broke over 1,000 subscribers, which is an amazing achievement. And under 2 months, which was incredible. I'm so appreciative of what everyone has been doing. So let's keep this going. Let's do our part when it comes to mass adoption and teach others what the blockchain space is all about. And if you've been with the channel, you know how I like to do things. I want to keep things simple, and we're going to break it down. 3 things we're going to talk today about. It's going to be the blockchain, ICOs, and market cap. These 3 little items, they go so far in understanding what we're all doing here and why does it all matter. Starting with the blockchain. What is the blockchain? People talk about, it's the next thing in the blockchain space. What the heck is the blockchain, right? So to break it down simply, the blockchain is basically this big old record keeping, right? So it's a record keeping way of doing things that's digital. That's 9 times, like right now, it's decentralized for the most part. It doesn't have to be decentralized, but for our purposes, for the coins that we deal with, most of them are. So just a record keeping, like blockchain sounds complicated. It's not. It's basically this big old ledger. If you're used to, that wording, it's just a ledger. That's the way to look at it. But it does have its special nuances. So it's a sequential block that's going to be building one on top of another. So somebody finishes writing, and look at it, think about it, it's just like and I'm like looking for things to show you on the spot, but think about a little book, right? So you finish writing on the little book and you rip the page and you set it down. You do another page, you rip it off, and you set it down. And they are building on top of one another. The block that's happening now really needs to work on top of the other one because it requires that previous information to move forward. And I will get into more details in later videos, but that's the basics, right? That's how it kind of works. This is the cool part. It's unchangeable ledger of transactions, records, or data, which means that once it's written, it stays there. That's why there's so many cool things that people do with the blockchain, because you can't change it. Once it's written, it's there. It's set in stone. Yes, of course, there are little nuances. You can go back and reorganize things, reorder. There's the little things that go in and out, but these are the basics. The idea is that the blockchain is nothing more than a way of record keeping, that it's a block one after another, and it's unchangeable. And you're going to always have a clean record of transactions or data or whatever it is that you're writing onto those blocks. And for show and tell, this here is Blockchain Explorer from CoinMarketCap. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it took me forever to learn about CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap is a really clean website. They are really good for you to look up different coins and find out what they're all about. And I'll show you that in a little bit here as well. But this is their blockchain explorer. And as you can see here, this is the blockchain for Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoins, which are all different kinds of cryptocurrencies. And if you scroll here, you can see that each one of these blocks, it'll give you the block number and it'll say, hey, there's X number of transactions in each one of these blocks. This is the basics. This is kind of how it works. So you have these blocks and there are multiple transactions in each one of them. If you think about them as, pages of a book, you're simply grabbing a page and sticking one on top of the other. And the number that the page ends with is the number that the next page begins with. So one depends on the next. That's the basics of what the blockchain actually is. So, number 2, initial coin offering, ICO. If you're used to stocks, well, you might be aware of what an IPO is. And I'm just going to put these on the screen so you guys can look at it and I can just talk about them. It's very similar to an IPO, but for cryptocurrencies. The cool thing is that it allows it to be crowd-funded, a lot of times decentralized, so you don't have a governing body over it. It can be private, doesn't have to be public, it doesn't have to be a public crowd-funded thing, and it's a big no-no for U.S. citizens. The reason it's a no-no for U.S. citizens is because people try to avoid, dealing with the SEC. And the perfect example of this is a coin that a lot of people know about called XRP from Ripple Labs. They're basically offering this XRP coin, and the SEC is saying, hey, that's a security. You're basically selling stocks to your company, and it needs to be regulated, and you're not regulating. You're just doing it however you want. That's what the big deal is all about with that coin, if you've ever heard about it. They're kind of right. The SEC is kind of right. I'm not going to lie. I have to kind of take their side on this one for the most part, but that's what it is. And I heard ICO so many times. I'm like, what the heck is an ICO? What does that even mean? I had to look it up myself. So this is what it is. I will also link this document right here. And let me take dark mode off. Why are certain ICOs open to US citizens? It kind of goes over a little bit of the details. If you're interested in ICOs, it's a really cool thing for you to look at because there's a ton of profitability, inside of ICOs. And I will show you why ICOs are dangerous in the blockchain space. And I'm going to show you 3 different coins here and 3 coins that I've actually covered on my channel recently. First, I'm going to show you Liddy Capital. They actually started not long ago. So just over a month ago, I want to say. If we look here, on July 1st, when they actually went public, their coin rose and then it went down, then it rose and it went down. This, believe it or not, is really, really healthy. This doesn't normally happen with coins in the crypto space because this is what usually takes place here. This is another one, Deeper Network, the DPR token, which is their coin. This is what you get. The ICO is out and boom, it just spikes. And then as soon as it hits a certain threshold, people are like, okay, I'm out. I'm going to pull my money and I'm just going to walk away. And it crashes. And people lose a lot of money with this exchange because all this is up and down. It's money going from one person to another. It's all it is. And that makes ICOs really dangerous in the crypto space. So make sure you know what you're doing. If you're looking at getting into a coin in a pre-sale or you're learning about it and you're like, oh, this might sound like it's really cool. It's got a good future. That's great. But be sure that you're not going to buy something that's going to take off and all of a sudden it's going to come crashing down. Third coin I'll show you in regards to this is Quant, QNT. And all of these are on CoinMarketCap if you ever want to go there and look at it. This is another really healthy this doesn't happen very often. So take a look at this. So we have data going, as far back as 27 cents. And it's set at 27 cents and it started rising slowly, went to $1, a few bucks here, 7, and now it started rising and picking up. This isn't common. This is not normally how it works. So please keep that in mind. That's why ICOs can be very lucrative, but very dangerous at the same time. Last, but absolutely not least, this is actually one of my favorite things to talk about. It's market cap, cryptocurrency specifically, market cap. Well, Market cap is usually like, when it comes to stocks, it's, the number of stocks you have, out there times what the shares go for. It's the same idea for cryptocurrencies. It's a total value of all the coins that have been minted, and minting coins is a little bit different depending on the coin. They can either be created all at once, depending on what the code says, or they have to be mined. And there's a million ways to generate that type of mining. But let's just keep it to the basics today. All the coins that are available. Minted means they have been generated. They have been created. That's all it is. Like, how much all of those cost? If you're, how much are they valued at? Which brings you to this equation, which is the current number of coins times the current value of the coins. And I'll use the same application that I was just on, which is CoinMarketCap. Actually, so CoinMarketCap, this is what you see when you first land there. And you can do this with any coin. So going back to some of the ones that I had open, you can see that the market cap, well, this is volume market cap here, trading volume. It's going to be right up here. And everybody loves talking about market cap. Here we go. So $1.8 billion. That's what the market cap, am I reading this right? Is it even bigger than I thought? Yeah, it's definitely bigger than I thought. Yep. Man, that's awesome. All right. So that's a market cap. It's going to be listed for any coin out there. And the reason why people make a big deal out of this on the blockchain space is because they want to know dominance. And you can see that one of the things that they put right out here is the market cap. So the first number, and if I hover over that, it says, hey, this is what the market cap is. And people care about because it shows that, oh, this is how much money is essentially been invested into this specific asset or coin. And you can see that this is normally how they rank things. At the first page, this is what it's all about. And it goes down. Look at that. But all they're ranking this by is the market cap. Like, how much of the market does this actually, mean? Like, right now, Bitcoin has the biggest market cap of all, which is sitting at almost 900. That's going to hit pretty soon, as soon as people get their act together. But that's what the market cap is. And people are always asking about the market cap. Here's my little nugget of love to you. Market cap is great for you to understand what, how much money has been put into one specific token or coin. But it's not the end all and be all. The same way that stocks can have a certain market cap but be valued way higher, same applies in the crypto space. The market cap does not equal the market value. It's different. And the reason I say that is because you can have a very undervalued coin or token. And I've talked about how, for example, Liddy Capital is way undervalued because I can show you here that the market cap is, nearing $40 million. That's a good number for something that just started recently. However, the company's valuation, their possible assets that they have is over 150 million. So this would be like a undervalued stock. Same idea with Quant. And we can take this a step further on the blockchain space because I'm going to show you a few things when it comes to staking and locking up your coins. You're able to actually, take a step further into it. So staking is almost like opening a CD. You're locking up a number of coins for a specific amount of time for some type of return. And that goes a long way. So your market cap might be X, and you might have X number of circulating supply. But what if these 12 million here? What if you only have access to 1 million because the other 11 are locked up? This is a really big deal with Deeper Network as well, because a lot of their circulating supply is being locked up by people who are staking for rewards. So please understand, I can't stress this enough. The market cap does not equal the market value. And that's something that you always want to be aware of. How much is things actually, how much is it actually worth? Because just because people are paying $45,000 for a Bitcoin right now, is that really what it's worth? Think about that, consider that whenever you're purchasing coins, whenever you're making trades. It's really important, especially if you're in this for the long haul. It's really great when people are able to say, hey, I have this money, I'm setting it aside for, retirement or whatever it is. I'm purchasing X and Y coins because they're way undervalued, and I know with time they're only going to grow. That's a really good way for you to approach the crypto space. And with that, I'm going to leave it right here for you to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so, because it does help the channel, and you all have been phenomenal. If you have any questions, if you want me to cover any basics around the blockchain space, any more, any type of terminology that you might have had trouble with when you started, let me know. I want to be able to help not only the experts, people that are trying to figure out how to place antennas and how am I going to mine this and that. I want to provide the basics as well so that everyone can take advantage of this blockchain space and we can have finally mass adoption into this great ecosystem. Thank you so much. Love you all, and I will see you on the next one.